Hi, welcome to AFTV. It's now time for the player ratings. Marty's debut on the player ratings. I've got Robbie with me as well. The strongest 11 I heard someone say that we've got, to be fair, play today. Maybe not got the result we all wanted, but a 1-1 draw. We'll start with the keeper. I'll let Robbie start to open up.
Yeah, he was good today. His handling, Gabriel Raya's handling and catching is the best in the league, I feel.
Fair.
You know what I mean? He's really, really good at doing that. And I thought he had no chance with the goal, especially the way it came through
Gabriel's legs.
Gabriel's legs. And it was a great finish by Neto. He couldn't do nothing about that. And apart from that, he was brilliant within the game. So I'll give him a 7.
7. Fair to say 7? Is that a fair rating?
Yeah, I think so. For me as well, his distribution, the way he plays off the ball, the positions he gets himself into when you watch defensively.
To receive the pass.
Yeah, to receive the pass from defenders is unbelievable. He almost offsets himself away from the goal in a completely different position. I mean, look, if he got caught out, he'd be in a bit of trouble. But then it frees up spaces and obviously playing out from the back and playing through the pitch, and like Robbie said, his handling for me, the way he positions himself. He's not a huge goalkeeper at 6'1", but his handling, rarely we see him drop a ball, and for that goal, look, that was a sublime finish that rocketed into the bottom corner. I'd like to see any goalkeeper have a go on that, and I would say give him a sort of 7.
7 as well. Yeah. So you've agreed there. Let's go straight to the right back for you, Marty. Ben White.
I don't think Ben White had his best game at right back, and he did get challenged down that right hand side quite a few times. And I think definitely when Jesus came on, he wasn't quite sure how to sort of operate, as it were. I didn't see him overlap with Saka as much as I usually would. I'd give him probably a 6 for today.
Above average.
Okay. I'd give him a 6 for today.
Yeah, I probably agree with that. He got on a very early yellow card, didn't he?
Oh yeah.
And then after that, we didn't see him overlapping enough. He did a few times, and he had his hands full. You know what I mean? He's up against players like Neto. You know what I mean? So your hands are full with that, and I think 6 is fair.
William Saliba, Robbie.
Yeah, I thought he was pretty solid today. You know what I mean? Solid performance by Saliba.
Jackson's a tough opponent.
Jackson was anonymous in the game. Let's be real. You know what I mean? Completely anonymous.
That's true,
so 7. You know what I mean? Yeah, played well.
7 fair?
Yeah, I think for me, Saliba really helped to nullify Cole Palmer and that threat from that how he transitions from midfield into attack and that finishing. And I think Saliba, he was solid. Played well, and you didn't see much of Jackson. Didn't really get a sniff. Unfortunately, obviously they conceded a goal, but I think 7 is a fair.
Gabriel,
I didn't even know Cole Palmer was playing until I saw him jump in that car over there. With all the Chelsea fans around him. I was like, oh, they found him. Right? He was anonymous today, but that was because we defended so well.
Yeah.
And and the midfield was so good. So I think that's a fair result.
Arsenal shape was very good today. Gabriel Magalhães, Marty.
Yeah, I think the same for me. Listen, that partnership. We talk about, it's a fantastic partnership. And even on a game like a day like today, it's only a sublime bit of skill that is going to beat those guys. Very, very rarely do these guys make a mistake, and sometimes I think a 7 for the pair of them could be quite harsh, because they did play very well, and without a pairing like that, a game like this can really run away from you and end up, Chelsea could have, cut through us, because they do have that, they do have that power and they do have those players. But I think a 7's a fair rating for them as well.
Okay. Jurrien Timber, Robbie, because you said this is I'm sure as you mentioned, the strongest 11 that we had, that we would be, it's available firstly, but you're putting Timber over Calafiori, would you say, if this is our strongest 11?
I thought he was good today.
Timber,
he was good. Remember that time he went on that little run where he could think?
He said that more.
You know what I mean? Again, the players that you're up against, you have to lever that. You know what I mean? I thought, is it Madueke marked him out of the game completely. They had to end up taking him off.
Facts.
Knew what he was going to do. Every time he cut inside, he was just there. He was brilliant today. I think
the Neto goal.
Yeah, the Neto is.
I don't know if he. I don't know.
I don't know. With the Neto goal, because at the other end, all I see is Neto who just hit a rocket.
Yeah.
Right. I don't know if anyone could have got close to him or whatever, but I think he had a good game. I'll give him a 7 as well.
Fair.
Yeah, the only reason why I would give him a 7 in this game is because of the Neto goal, and there could have been a slight bit of positioning for it. But he was busting a gut even at the end of the game. This is a player that's been come back off of a long injury layoff and a few other injuries, and I think he is also a few games out of, look, I'd love to see him get a really long, consistent run without injuries. And I think he's a few games out of real Jurrien Timber match sharpness, where this guy's a beast, and he is technically unbelievable, and he gives that character and that bite, especially you need in these London derbies, and he definitely showed up and performed today. And technically he was, like Robbie said, he marked Madueke out of the game, for long periods. Let's
go to Thomas Partey. What do you rate him?
Look, to be fair, I thought Thomas Partey was decent today. I thought he gave a good, as it were, Thomas Partey performance of marauding the midfield, controlling, breaking up play, getting the ball turning, laying the ball off in situations, and I think with Rice, that partnership, not to go on to Rice, but I think that partnership was, I think how he played today was a key factor in stopping Chelsea from playing, because like we know, Chelsea have got problems at the back, and that you can really open them up, but going forward, they really can hurt teams, and the whole sort of defensive unit and that midfield where Thomas Partey in that pivot is pivotal, literally, to the outcome of this game.
Rating. I'm
going to go for a 7.
Okay.
Yeah, 7.
Could be 8.
Could have been an 8, man.
Could be 8.
He was really good.
Midfield was good.
This guy, by the way, there's a lot of people at the start of the season. Again, this is why we're quick to write off players. Get him out. Partey's legs are gone.
Injuries,
He's our best midfielder at the moment. So this season, since the season started till now, Thomas Partey has been our best midfielder, without a doubt.
Fair.
But if we'd have followed certain people, he'd be gone, right? You know what I mean? So, I think I might give him an 8 today. I thought he played really well. He controlled things. But I'll give him a 7 probably, because we haven't won the game. But I thought he was good today.
I thought I would have sided with you if you went with the 8, because Cole Palmer, he had a tough job in there, and I think the midfield was good today. But let's go to Declan Rice, Robbie.
I thought he was solid as well. And when you consider he's playing with a broken toe, he's playing through an injury. He was excellent today. Came off obviously near the end, but he was good. The one thing with Chelsea, they've got a good midfield. Caicedo, Lavia in there. Cole Palmer. And that they were kept quiet. Most of Chelsea's work was done defensively in that midfield, with Caicedo is probably the better of their guys. But I thought Rice was solid today, And another 7.
7 fair for Rice?
Yeah, do you know what? I would have potentially gone slightly higher, slightly lower. But playing with a broken toe, you've got to give respect to that. You really have. That is, playing for the cause. I love seeing that. Playing with a broken toe. You kick the ball with your feet. Literally, that is, that stuff. And look, he was good. He broken up play. He did. There were times in the game when I could see some real drive in him, and he did drive at Chelsea, and it was like he had a point to prove. I find when he does play Chelsea, he does have a point to prove, obviously, because he was
released from him,
and he was released, and he has got a point to prove. And he played well. It was a solid, performance. Shame he had to go off.
Okay, 7. Now I'm intrigued because you both said 7s for these two midfielders. So I'm very interested to see where you go for Marty and Ødegaard.
Do you know what? It's by his standards. I tempted to give him an 8. I tempted to give him an 8, but he just wasn't quite. I think he could have been a 9 if he created that moment of magic to unlock, but he didn't. I think at the end, if I remember rightly, when Trossard crossed it in, he was going to be on the end of it to go in.
Him or Havertz?
And look, he by his standards.
Hold on. Who are we talking about?
Ødegaard.
Ødegaard's a 9, man and a
9, yeah?
For me, right? The assist for the goal. It's absolutely brilliant, right? The guy's been out since September, right? He came on the other night for about 3 minutes, came on today, run the midfield, man. He set the tempo for the team. His closing down was brilliant. He completely overshadowed Cole Palmer for me. You've got 2 guys playing in that position on each team, right? And as I said, it will come across like I'm dissing Palmer. He's a quality player.
He's a good player.
But today, he was completely, overshadowed by the performance of Martin Ødegaard. I thought he was excellent today.
9.
He was my man of the match. I'll give him a 9.
Oh, he's man of the match. Okay.
Do you think that was a Martin Ødegaard 9 performance though?
Yeah, I do. Really? I do. I think in a big game he turned up. He had the assist for the goal, and as I said, he led the tempo of the team. It was what we've been missing for so long. You saw that today, right? It was from the whistle blew. It was a different Arsenal with him in there.
Okay.
The way he leads the team, the tempo, the pressing, And he's like 90 minutes. He's still going at it like a madman, right? And I'm like,
surprised he got 90.
I wasn't even expecting him to last the whole game. I thought he was superb today.
The comments will decide. But what would you have given?
An 8.
Okay.
I would say an 8. Listen,
yeah,
the assist, fair enough. I'd give him an 8 on his standards. He just on his high standards. I think personally he's 2 games out of being completely Martin Ødegaard match fit. Yeah. That's how I see it. When in a couple of games, this guy, like you say, this guy does run games, and today he was decent.
For me.
Yeah, he did, yeah. But I just don't think he was at. Yeah. I think there was something slightly missing.
Just quickly.
I don't know, man. Like, listen, yeah, you're right. In a couple of games' time, we will see the best of him. Yes. But today he was brilliant. And as I said, I just thought he was superb today. And, he didn't give the ball away. He was, for a guy who's been out since September, that was fantastic.
If Neto didn't score and it was 1-0 to Arsenal, would he have been a 9 for you?
I probably could have been. Listen, the ratings would slightly be bumped up if we win the game. Yeah. You're going to bump the ratings up slightly. Of course you are, because you win the game. When you're drawing or losing, the ratings are always naturally, unless there's one complete standout. Yeah. I'm glad you don't.
Yeah. I don't disagree with it. But all right, let's go to Bukayo Saka, Robbie.
Yeah, it's quite a game from today. Still produced a few moments of quality, putting some good balls into the box. I think Raya was allowed to get away with murder on him. You know what I mean? Like foul after foul. Although I would say Raya defended him pretty well. Yeah. He did defend him well, but it's a lot easier when you're allowed to get away with a lot. Yeah. You know what I mean? But it was probably a quieter game for him today as well. And I'll probably give Bukayo a 6, Yeah.
I was looking,
I don't think he didn't light it up today.
I agree.
But he weren't bad. He weren't like he was bad.
6 isn't a bad rating either. It's above average still.
Okay, I'd say a 7. I thought he was. Listen, he wasn't that great. He wasn't the Saka, but he was causing problems down that right-hand side. He was, there were times he twisted up Raya, and there were times that he couldn't handle him. And like you say, listen, I think if you allow a player like Raya to get into him, and he did get, listen, we all know Saka gets kicked to bits, and you change that, and he's going to turn you inside out, and he's going to. But look, I think for me, it would be a 7.
Okay, his ball retention is unbelievable, Bukayo Saka. But you've gone 6, you've gone 7. Comments, let us know. Let's go to the goal scorer, the opposite wing, Marty, Gabriel Martinelli.
Yeah, I thought he had a really good game today. I thought he was decent. I thought, this was, the game that I wanted to see him play and score the goal, and just. Yeah, I really enjoyed watching Gabriel Martinelli. He was around the pitch. He got up and down. He played well, and I give him an 8.
Yep.
Yeah, I think an 8. He was. A lot of people have been very critical of Martinelli for a while, and this end product and stuff, but you could see what it meant on him, what it meant on his face. And listen, he's an Arsenal boy, and he is talented. It was great to see. I think a solid 8.
Before I come to Robbie, Julian was cheeky in his fan cam. He said that I was led by you when I was saying about him not losing. He wasn't winning his duels and that. But I was quite critical of Martinelli in that first half.
And you were right. The first 4 or 5 duels he had, he didn't win them. He was finding it really difficult to get past his man. The one thing I was saying to you in that first half is that, put a ball in front of him. Fair. Everything's every time he's picking up the ball, it's behind him. Yeah. So I think it was Gusto he's up against. He's really quick. He was finding it difficult. But then after that, he started adapting his play more. He's getting some good crosses into the box, and his goal was brilliant. And he took to a lot of boxes today. Good crosses. Started getting past his man. Scored a goal, and his work rate tracking back was phenomenal. It's at 8 today.
Yeah, could have had 2 goals, but I'm not criticising.
Yeah, I think he should have scored in the first half as well. He had that chance, he hit it straight at the keeper.
But he had a really good game today.
But he had a good game.
Okay, so 8 for you. You said 8 as well, didn't you? Yeah. Kai Havertz, Robbie.
I thought he had a good game as well. Unlucky not to get the goal, because he's slightly offside. But I love the way he celebrated as well.
I was going to
and I thought he was solid, playing it up front.
Oh yeah, instead of drifting off to
a focal point where he could pick the ball up. He caused a lot of problems to their defence. Very physical, got cut on the head again. He's a very physical guy. I thought he played well today. I'm going to give him a 7.
I think with Ødegaard back in the team, you'll see more of him down the middle, so they can link up together.
You don't want him in midfield. That's where you want him. So a well-deserved 7.
7 for you?
Yeah, I think that's fair, and I think if we're going to give Declan Rice props for playing with a broken toe. That gash he had on his head was nasty.
Again,
it was You know, you see it against Milan. He had blood everywhere, and like you said, he leads by example. That goal, he was unlucky. It was offside. You know, VAR's not here, and it's a goal. And you know, I love what it meant to him. It was a shame it didn't stand. I would have loved him to have scored back at his old ground. You know, I think he always holds up play well. He's always physical. He's always a handful. You know, and I think a 7 is
Just before we go to the subs, your man of the match, Robbie's was Ødegaard, yours is?
I think Ødegaard or Martinelli.
Pick one.
Oh man, I'm just going to go with Ødegaard to keep Robbie happy.
No, it's just what you feel.
I'm joking. No, look, I think. No, do you know what? I'm going to go with Martinelli because he scored the goal.
Fair, good.
Yeah.
Subs, we're going to run through them quickly. There's 3 subs made. Start with Gabriel Jesus. Stricto went in on him.
Do you know what? There's something missing from this guy. I'd give him a 4. Just he came on. I would have liked to think that it would have been some sort of replacement for Saka, Jesus, but it's like trying to find a place in this team. He's proving largely ineffective at the moment, and he's not at the races. And there's something, I don't know whether there's something going off the scene or something like that. I don't know, but he is not. Obviously, he's fit, but he's just not. He's not at the races. Okay. He's not performing.
I'd probably give him a 3. He came on. Listen, I know it's unfair because you don't have a lot of time to make an impact. Because he only came on with 6-7 minutes left, but he was poor. He had time when he fell over like a thing, and then they went on the attack right down the upper end. It's like, yo, bro, what are you doing, man? Like, nah, he needs to get it together fast. Poor.
Trossard.
He did well when he came on. He did well. You know, I mean, could have scored at the end. Very unlucky with that, and caused problems. Caused problems when he came on. I thought he had an impact. 7. Well, he's only on for a short.
Yeah, it's for the time that he was on.
For the time he's on, I give him a 7. He was effective.
That's fine.
It was really nice to see Trossard played in Trossard's position and Trossard being Trossard. It was a shame at the end that cross didn't end up being a goal.
It would have been offside.
Yeah, no, I know, but you know, him playing his 10 role, I'd give him a 7 as well. What I saw of him today, he came on and he was effective, and he did. There were times he drove down that left-hand side. It was a good replacement for Martinelli today to come on and try and perform and try and do what he had to do.
Yeah. You mentioned this player in your fan cam, Mikel Merino rating.
Yeah, look, I'm going to give him a 7. I'd like to give him a 7.5.
No half marks.
No. What I liked seeing with him is the way that he got the ball and he turned round players and opened up space, and then very, very well his back would be facing the goal, and he'd turn around and he'd turn that from defence into attack, and with players in front of him to then move off a pass, and that's everything you want to see from me from a midfield player.
Yeah, Mikel Merino for you?
Yeah, I think 7's deserved. I think he came on, like Marty said, the way he was turning with the ball, opening up things in tight areas. The way, 7's is fair. The way he's been written off already by some fans has been quite alarming for me. You know what I mean? The guy came here, right? He's had no pre-season, right? Because he was at the Euros. We signed him late, right? He broke his shoulder, right? He's had about 4 or 5 games. Don't get me wrong, he ain't looked great in them, but he has scored a goal in one.
Yep.
And it's like people are written him off already. He's rubbish, right? So remember Caicedo last year for them. He didn't have a great season, but right now, go and tell a Chelsea fan to take him out of their midfield. He's invaluable. So we have a bit more patience with this guy, but I do think he's a good player.
Okay, 7 for Mikel Merino. Keep this brief. Referee, so there wasn't too much. Brief referee. I don't know.
I love the way today the fans stuck it on the referee.
Quality.
They started singing, Michael Oliver, it's all about you.
He changed after that though.
Right, because he weren't giving us it. He allowed, again, inconsistent with listen, there's no major beef in the game referee wise, but I just thought again that inconsistency of allowing. But listen, when you go away from home and you play a team, home teams get more. It's just naturally how it goes. So I give him a 6 today. He weren't terrible.
Yeah, he weren't terrible, but that was funny. Well, that chant was quality.
See, do you know what? I was sat in the Chelsea end, and it was so nice to hear that it's not just us that moan about Michael Oliver. Yeah. I was sat there with all the Chelsea fans, and they were going, Michael Oliver, he's this and he's this and all that, and they were slating him like all the Chelsea fans around me. So look, I'm going to dare I say I'll give him a 7 because I felt he swung quite a few things say in our favour. I think he was right. That's probably the best I've seen him play. I've seen him have some absolute shockers, stinkers. But yeah, today I think it was the best I've ever seen him play. Operate for us.
Yeah,
I think if he's for Man City, he gets 9s every week.
I think both sides. He was
consistent. I mean, he allowed the Cucurella thing I didn't like, but overall, the game, there was no major incidents. The decisions were right.
Fair.
Yeah, maybe 7 is fair.
Yeah, fair. Manager, Mikel.
Yeah, I thought that was a much better performance by the team. You know what I mean? We didn't get the win that we deserved, I felt. Yeah. But the performance was better and gives a bit of hope now going after this break. We've had a tough time since the last international break. I'll give him a 7 as well.
I liked watching the substitutes at exactly the right time. I think his game management was decent, and I thought he brought on the right players at the right time, and I couldn't really fault that. When Saka was injured, who else are you going to bring on? Jesus. It's not Mikel's fault that Jesus didn't perform, but he brought the right players on at the right time, and obviously got them up enough for. Listen, this is a hotly contested game. It's a derby. It's always going to be intense, and after the run of results we've had, that bounce back ability that you get from Arteta, that belief. I'd give him a 7 definitely, without a doubt.
And finally, the fans who sung that.
Fans were brilliant today. I thought it was so loud today. As we always are when we come to the bridge. Always a great game here, because the atmosphere is good. I thought the fans were fantastic today. Apart from Ty, who's been winding everybody up every minute. He's still arguing over there. Just for that, it gets dropped to a 9.
Definitely a 9. I mean, look, I was watching the Irish thing when I got away.
Yeah, he was in
I watched the Arsenal fans.
Yeah.
I was standing there, and I was literally, they were in front of me. And obviously, when the goals go in, the chanting, they were louder than the Chelsea fans.
Yeah, we were loud. And I was quiet at the bridge.
Bear in mind, I was sat in the Chelsea end, so they were louder. The Arsenal fans were a lot louder than the Chelsea fans. So yeah, definitely a 9. Arsenal away fans are absolute magic. They're brilliant. They don't stop, and I love it.
Listen, Marty, congrats on your debut on the player ratings. Thank you so much for joining us.
You're not hired though.
What do I get as a rating?
You've done well.
I'm sure it'll be the comments.
Marty's rating?
That's good.
Can't rate it, come on.
No, average. No, joking. 7.
No, give me 8, man. It's debut.
Debut, man. Debut.
He was harsh on Ødegaard, didn't he? When you consider that.
No, but you need that. You need a bit of backup.
When you consider that Ødegaard's been out since September, and he came out and did what he did.
It's about today.
So it's your first one.
Yeah.
I would expect you impeccable.
Okay.
So we're going to give you 8.
Eight's fair. 8's fair. Let us know your ratings in the comments below and what you made of this player ratings as well. Like the video if you like the video. And people, enjoy your international break.
Oh, God.
No. We'll see you soon. Take care.
Yeah. Nice.